Hey guys, my name is Morgan and welcome to today's video. Today I want to show you guys how I built this incredible trellis behind me out of an old trampoline. So it did take a couple of days because of weather and because of supplies. So I did do a little bit of filming, but there's no talking there. I just kind of did a little run through and put my GoPro up and filmed a little time lapse of me dismantling the whole thing. So if you'd like to skip to the part where I take you through a full tour showing you exactly how the trellis looks, then you can click to this time right here. If you'd like to see the whole process, then you can just keep watching.
Coffee started, don't remember much. All I know is that you talk too much. Time to go. Ba-ba-dum, ba-ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-ba-bum, ba-ba-dum. You've got those big blue eyes, drive me crazy, make me fantasize about you, baby, and you smell so sweet, like fresh picked daisies. Call me Dahmer, 'cause your heart's so tasty.
So here I have the trellis, and this is where I'm going to be keeping it. It's basically like an entrance to the garden. I think it looks really cool, but there is one little problem, and that is it's pretty flimsy. Not the structure, that's pretty fine, but just these little parts here and in the middle and over there, it's like pulling in. So when things grow on it, it's going to be pulling it down, and that's not good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this dropper, and I'm going to use an angle grinder and grind it till it fits inside there and fits inside there, and then I'm just going to screw it in so that when things grow, they'll then just hit against the dropper instead of just pulling it all down. Alright, so I've got my brackets in, and I had to take some of the cable ties off, obviously, because it wasn't able to open for me to push these things in. But now I need to put a ratchet strap over the top here, and I'm going to ratchet it nice because this end needs to reach the end of the taper basically. So yeah, I'm just going to put a ratchet strap over and then put it nice and tight. And I do have a mallet if I do need to just give it a little bang, and then once it's tight I'll screw it in and then I'll release the ratchet strap, and then it should be all good. So there I have the ratchet strap on. Now it's just a matter of ratcheting it until it pulls this up until there. So I'm sure by now you have a pretty good idea on how this was built, but I'd just like to take a few minutes and just show you exactly what I did. So here you can see that this is where I did the joining. So this is the leg, and this is basically the part that made the circle for the trampoline. And I used some of the legs and I actually cut a slit through them and then drilled some holes, and then I just bolted that together. So this is not going anywhere, and these are cable ties, these are just temporary. I did put some wire over here, so that's going to be the final thing, but I'm leaving the cable ties there because, you know, it's just holding it a little bit better. So instead of taking that off, I'll just leave them there and see how long they last, because my dad and I were actually thinking that because of the sun and because of the elements, these are going to perish and they might just break off. So I thought, hey, let me just leave them there until they do that. So yeah, I've just gone around with these little pieces of wire and tied on this almost like a cattle panel. It is a 100 by 100 square mesh. So yeah, that's going from the one side all the way to the other, and I just did the same thing. I just tied them off here at the bottom, so again, that's not going anywhere. And then with regards to support, I have these pieces of droppers that I did have to make a little bit thinner. You can see I used an angle grinder and I just made it a bit thinner to fit through these little gaps over here. And then I just screwed them in over here with some self-tapping screws and some washers, just because the holes were quite big and the self-tapping screws were going straight through. So just added some washers there just to give it a little bit more strength and some bite. But yeah, that's the main piece of support. And one thing that I do really like about this trellis is I can stand under it. Unlike the greenhouse that I have to bend down quite a bit, it does get a little bit annoying when my head and my back starts hitting the top of the greenhouse there. So I'm really glad that this is nice and tall, and hopefully in the future when I do have some butternut or some squash or some watermelon or something growing here, I can then stand underneath and then harvest, and I can just see all of them hanging from the trellis. So that's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. I do have some squash seeds that I planted down at the bottom here, so that's going to then hopefully just crawl up over there. If they don't come up, because that is home saved seeds, so if they don't come up within maybe a couple of weeks, then I will just get some seedlings and it's going to be the same thing. But I really wanted to do from my own seed, because I am doing a video about starting squash from an actual squash that we bought from the supermarket. So that's going to be really cool. Hopefully that can come up. And I did actually, coming back to the first part here, I did actually use the same bolts and nuts that were holding the trampoline together. I did use the same of those to basically build the trampoline in a different way. So the only thing that's not from the trampoline is the mesh and these droppers. So yeah, and maybe these like little wires and the cable ties, but most of it is built 100% from an old trampoline. And there we go, that is basically the entire trellis. Stay tuned, I am going to be having some more update videos with regards to the squash if they come up, and basically just update videos on how everything is growing and how everything is doing with the trellis. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Morgan in the Garden. That way you can see all kinds of daily updates around the garden and a few things about the trellis as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed today's video, and I hope you learned a little something on building a trampoline. I hope you learned a little something about building a trellis from a trampoline. If you do have an old trampoline that's not being used, this is a brilliant idea to dismantle the trampoline and build a nice trellis and get some things growing in the garden. Also, if you'd like to further support me in creating some beautiful content, then you can check out my Patreon. I'll have the links down below. And until next time, have a wonderful day and stay active in the garden.